This your boy, the real Eddie M. Basically, I'm just doing a new vlog again on the topic of the Google Nexus 4 and the Galaxy Note 2. So let's start off talking about the Nexus 4. It's for those of you that don't know what that is. That's the new device from Google. Most of you may know the last one was the Samsung Galaxy Nexus through Verizon and also through the Google Play Store, which was unlocked, and you can use that with any GSM carrier. Um, that one obviously discontinued now, being that the Nexus 4 has been released. Well, not released yet, but on November 13th it will be released, and from there the Galaxy Nexus will be discontinued. Um, on the Nexus 4, 4.7 inch, screen, true HD screen, sounds real nice. You got a 1.5, quad core, Snapdragon S4 processor. That sounds real nice too. It's just that I feel as though, don't forget the 2 gigabytes of RAM also. It's just that I feel that Google always is a step behind. Um, it's not saying that the device is horrible, because the Nexus line is great. A lot of people always undermine the Nexus line, but in the long run, it always turns out to be the most consistent device working. A lot of people talked a lot of garbage about the Galaxy Nexus, and when it came out last year, yeah, there were some glitches and stuff, and stuff that was easily fixed through OTA, you know, and when it was fixed, it was a great device. Not to mention, when it got Jelly Bean, it just got better. Now with the Nexus 4, you got the Android 4.2, which is still Jelly Bean. Some people, I've seen some videos and people keep calling it keyline. Ugh, sorry about that. Key lime pie. You know, negative. That is Jelly Bean. It's just an updated version with some new, stuff in the software, some new features that are convenient to its customers. Um, Still on the fact, yeah, 1.5 quad core Snapdragon S4 processor, great. But you have to understand, there's the Galaxy Note 2. Now that has a 1.6 quad core Exynos processor. And you also have the HTC One X Plus that has a 1.7 quad core Snapdragon S4 processor. You have to understand, if, you know, of course, sometimes power doesn't always mean it's a better performance. But you have to understand, people, normal people, not people like us that stay on technology and know about their technology. People, normal people that don't read into the news and stuff like that, all they're going to see is the specs. And when they see that it has a 1.5 quad core processor compared to the 1.6 and the 1.7, they're gonna go to those other devices. It's a guarantee. But for people like us that know about technology, they know that if you get the Nexus 4, you're guaranteed two major software updates. Two. Most phones barely get to see one. One. That's crazy nowadays. There's only a select few phones that I've seen personally throughout the past couple of years that have seen more than one update. Like, the HTC Incredible 2, that's seen two major updates. It went from, if I'm not mistaken, it went from Froyo to Gingerbread, from Gingerbread to ICS. Um, Also, the Droid X. Droid X started off, if I'm not mistaken, that started off as either donut or cupcake, and then went from Froyo to gingerbread, and then it stopped from there. So it's only select devices. I mean, companies are getting better, but the Nexus line is a guarantee thing. And when you read the comments on a lot of these pages and a lot of these videos, and you hear people complaining about software updates, but then they go to the store and they get free phones on contract, you wonder why you're complaining. You're getting cheap phones. Remember, you pay for what you get. You're getting a cheap phone, you're going to get cheap quality and cheap service. Remember that. But Google did knock it out the ballpark when they announced that the Nexus 4 was going to be, affordable. If I'm not mistaken, 8 gigabyte is $299.99, and the 16 gigabyte is 240. My fault, $349.99. That's crazy, especially on the fact that T-Mobile has exclusivity of this phone for now that we know of, and they're selling it for 200 on contract, $500 off of contract, which makes no sense. But I understand the game. I understand what they're doing. Not a lot of people know about the Nexus line. It's not a mainstream phone. It's not a Droid like some people say. It's not a Galaxy phone. So a lot of people don't know about it. They hear about the mainstream phones. Nexus is made more for the rooters and the modders and all that. That's what it's made for. That's what the device is. So, a lot of people are going to go to the Play Store and they're going to order that one instead of walking into a T-Mobile store and signing a 2-year contract. But then again, the people that sign the contracts, they're the ones that don't know about it. They're the ones that are going to go in there and they're going to see the specs and they're going to see it's $200 and they're going to sign the contract on that, not knowing that for an extra $100 you could have stayed off contract and you could have got yourself a top tier device. Um, but it's gonna be a good phone. I mean, it's got a megapixel camera, which I think it should have got a 13 megapixel camera from the LG phone. But then again, I've read some reports that don't let numbers fool you. That the 13 megapixel camera really wasn't up to par with even a megapixel camera from the HTC One X and the Galaxy S3. So sometimes numbers lie. But just in my point of view, I don't know what Google is thinking. That them knowing that there are other phones with better specs. I don't know. They do what they do. I mean, obviously they haven't failed at it. So who am I to judge? It's just a personal opinion. Um, but anyways, now on to the next topic, which would be the Galaxy Note 2. Now that one is very interesting. Um, I just ordered that one personally myself on Thursday. I should be receiving it tomorrow, sometime tomorrow for sure. I might be able to do a quick unboxing on that and give you my first impressions and my thoughts on that one, and then later on I'll do a review on it. Um, from what I know, from what I've seen, it's the device of the year. Um, you can try to convince me, and you can try to tell me everything about the iPhone 5. I quite frankly don't care about the iPhone 5. That thing was outdated the second that they announced it. Um, Great hardware, but that's it. That's all you got. Hardware. Anything else? I mean, well, I can't even say the hardware because the specifications are outdated. I mean, you got a beefed up 4S. Whoop de doo. Um, you got the One X Plus, which is going to be a great device. It's pretty much a beefed up One X. But I think HTC needs to pretty much soften down the software. HTC is still, heavy on the software, and that's what's killing them. Um, when they first announced the one series, everybody's, was drooling over it. But when they actually got the phone in their hands, at first it felt great, but they started to find out that it's still a very heavy software, and that's what's killing them. They need to lighten that software up. It's kind of like how Samsung was when the Galaxy series first came out. It was very heavy. It was very glitchy and very heavy. But now them being them being that they've worked with Google for the past 2 years on the Nexus devices, I think they've kind of learned some tips and tricks on how to lighten up their software and still give a great customer experience. Because now the Galaxy S3, it's booming. They've sold over 30 million devices, and it hasn't even been 6 months, if I'm not mistaken. Could be a little bit more, but I don't think it's been no more than 6 months, and they've already sold over 30 million devices. They're doing something right. HTC, I don't know what's wrong with them. They need to get that together. And I know I'm rambling and I'm going way off the topic, but I'm just saying that Galaxy Note 2 is going to be the phone of the year. It doesn't matter what comes out. We already know that the One X Plus is coming out. Supposedly there's going to be a cheaper. What was the phone they were talking about? It's supposed to be a cheaper Nexus line. There's some couple Sony phones that are supposed to be coming out that I read. You got that the HTC Droid DNA or whatever that's supposed to be Verizon's version of the HTC J Butterfly. Great, that phone looks awesome, but it's still HTC, and if that software is heavy, it's not going to sell. Especially on the fact that it's a 5-inch screen, it doesn't attract everybody. You have to understand that a lot of people are still used to 4-inch and 4.3 inches, and they're kind of scared to go for the 4.5s and the 4.7s, and 5-inch screen, especially on Verizon. I mean, Verizon's all about the droids, and most droids on Verizon are no more than 4.3 inches. They've just now their screens have just gotten bigger, with the LG phone, LG View, if I'm not mistaken, and the Galaxy S3 being 4.8 inches. Um, Otherwise than that, everything else is 4.3 and under. Um, so we'll have to see on that. But that's just a short video on what I think. I'll post up another video here, hopefully tomorrow if I get my phone when I'm supposed to get it, which they told me Monday. So if I get it, I'll do a video on that. Do a review later on in the week. So you know, leave your comments below. Otherwise, you can, in the description, I have my Twitter page on there. You can hit me up on my Twitter, Boxer, Google Plus, Instagram, Facebook. Wherever you're more social at, you can hit me up on there with your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer those in my next video. All right, man, it's your boy Eddie M, and I'm checking out. Deuces.